there, third graders. We are on to chapter 4 in Gasping Garbage. It's called To the Rescue. When we left off last time, Doyle and Fosse had discovered that some frogs had a big problem. There was a new road that had been built, and in order to get to their pond, where they laid their eggs, they had to cross the road. Now, we don't need to go into details as to why that's a problem, but most of the frogs weren't making it across the road, so they came up with a plan to make some signs. Do you think the signs worked? Yes? No? Maybe so. Let's read and find out. It's called To the Rescue. But it didn't. Oh no, the signs didn't work. The next day, just as Drake was swirling a solution in a flask, can you swirl a solution? The phone rang. Pick up the phone. Say hello. Doyle and Fosse, Drake answered. It's just terrible, said Nell. What is? It's just awful. Calm down, naturalist Nell, and tell me what the problem is. It's the road signs. The wind blew them down, and they got all wet, and then the cars ran over them, and no one slowed down, and dozens of frogs have died horrible deaths. Drake frowned. Once again, Nell was right. This was awful, just awful. What are we going to do? He asked. Call our friends, replied Nell. Tell them to tune their radios to 98.4 FM at 10 a.m. Check. Click. Okay, so at 10 a.m., that means 10 in the morning. So tomorrow morning, they want them to tune, which means to turn the dial on their radio. So it's exactly at 98.4. There's going to be a radio station there. Drake made dozens of phone calls. After all, they had lots of friends. Tune your radio to 98.4 FM, 10 a.m. sharp. Check, they answered. Click. Finally, at 10 o'clock, Drake turned on the radio. The announcer was saying, and our guest today is Miss Nell Fosse, nature's naturalist. Now tell us, Miss Fosse, what brings you here today? Frogs. What about frogs? Allow me to explain, said Nell, and so she did. She explained about frogs. She explained her observations. She explained about the pond, the road, the signs, and of course, the horrible, horrible deaths. And finally, if we want to save our frog population, we must build a culvert. A culvert? The announcer asked. Do you know what a culvert is? Well, we've got some clues in the text. We know we have to build it. Let's see if the text gives us some more clues. That's right, a culvert. Dig a tunnel under the road and right out the other side. That way the frogs can hop through the culvert and they won't have to cross the road. Oh, I get it. It sounds like a culvert is a tunnel. This one's going to go under the road. So here's the road, and they're going to dig the tunnel. It's going to go under the road and out the other side. Said the announcer. That sounds expensive. Who's going to pay for this? That's why I'm on the air. Listen up, Mossy Lake. Meet me at the town square at 12 noon tomorrow. We'll rally with signs and take donations. Together we can make a difference. Thank you, Miss Fosse, for this most delightful interview. My pleasure, she replied. This broadcast brought to you by Mac's Diner. In a hurry, zip on over to Mac's Diner, the place to squat and gobble, where the service is speedy and the slop ain't bad. Drake flicked off the radio. Great Scott, a culvert. It might work. Nell was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. At 12 o'clock sharp, Drake and Nell in the town square. Oh, let me reread that. That didn't make sense. At 12 o'clock sharp, Drake met Nell in the town square. Unlike the day before, it was a bright, beautiful day with cotton ball clouds and plenty of sunshine. Already dozens of kids were there with their parents. Hey there, third graders. Maybe you took a brain break or a movement break, and we are back with page 27. We're at the top of the page. We're at the park. It's a sunny day. Save the frogs, the sign said. Save the tadpoles. Say yes to the environment. Nell put out a jar for money. The day wore on. Nell gave speeches. She showed charts and graphs. She pointed with her wooden pointer. More and more people gathered. More and more money filled the jar. And then the television news crew came. And the mayor. The mayor gave a speech in front of the cameras. Nell stood beside him. Just this morning, our little town of Mossy Lake was unaware of the problems faced by the leopard frog. Now, thanks to Miss Nell Fousey, Nell spoke into the microphone. Fossey, not Fousey. We can do something about it, the mayor declared. That's right, said Nell. Remember, together we can make a difference. One of the parents stepped forward. I'll help. I'm in the construction business. I'll donate my time for free. And I have a backhoe, someone else offered. It will do the job in a jiffy. What does the word jiffy mean? It will do the job in a jiffy. If they have a big machine, I think it means it's going to do it fast, efficiently. Ooh, we've got a picture. You can look at the picture on here, or you might want to look at the picture in your book. It says life cycle of the frog. There's the mayor. Dr. Livingston is here. Lots of signs. I think this is going to work out. I think this is going to be the solution to their problem. And I'll bring plenty of sandwiches for everyone, Mrs. Doyle volunteered. Nell spoke into the microphone again. Don't forget the coffee, decaf, black. The townspeople burst into cheers. The mayor shook Nell's hand. Cameras flashed. Nell was on the evening news and on the front page of the morning newspaper, where the headline read, Nature's Naturalist Rallies Town. Frogs everywhere, croaking with relief. Nell was a hero. A few days later, Drake, Nell, and Dr. Livingston were back at Frog Hollow. Again, Nell had her magnifying glass. She said. A frog hopped by. Follow that frog. Together, Drake and Nell followed the frog, with Dr. Livingston close behind. The frog hopped over a log. It hopped around a rock. It hopped through the tall grass. It hopped and hopped and hopped. And then something wonderful happened. The frog hopped through the culvert and out the other side. Yay! Oh, whispered Drake. Beautiful, said Nell. They did it. They solved the problem. That's so awesome. Oh, here's the end. Woof, said Dr. Livingston. That evening, Drake wrote in his lab notebook, Nell, brilliant. Culvert, a success. Leopard frogs and future generations saved. Payment 0. Paid in full. I wonder why their payment was 0, but they're still paid in full. Think about that. We'll talk about it. Why did they get a payment of 0, but they still feel like they've been paid in full? Interesting. Okay, another mystery solved. So now we've solved the case of the gasping garbage. We've solved the case at Frog Hollow. And next up, we're going to be on to chapter 5, which is called A Dark Day. You can look at the picture and see if you can make a prediction what's going to happen in chapter 5, A Dark Day. Okay, that's all for now, third graders. I will see you later, alligators. Bye.